guys, how's it going? Hope you're all doing super well. I hope your new year is off to a really great start. I am so happy to be sitting down and filming this. This is going to be my 2019 favorite. So this is my absolute favorite go-to products from last year. You guys know the drill of how these videos work, but I feel like there's kind of different ways you can film this video, and for me, I'm just talking about my go-to products, my most used, the ones that I reach for. These haven't necessarily launched last year, or they're not new, like you guys know. So basically, these are just my favorite products from last year, and they probably won't come, you know, as a surprise. However, I filmed so few videos in 2019 that maybe this will be new information. But yeah, 2020 guys, videos, they're gonna be coming at you, okay? So just be ready. I know I always say that, but 2019 was the craziest year of my life for many different reasons. There was highs, lows, it was just crazy. Like, looking back on it, I'm like, wow, maybe I should film a separate video. Maybe I'll do a get ready with me and chat about it and all that kind of stuff. But today's video, let's focus here, is going to be my absolute favorites. I love filming this video because I love talking about makeup and my favorites especially. So let's just get into this here. So my favorite foundation from last year, easily, like this wasn't even a question for me, is the L'Oreal Infallible Freshwear foundation. This launched at the very beginning of last year. I got it right away, and it just has become my go-to. This is what I wore on my wedding day. I feel like if you are picking something to use on your wedding day, especially a face product, you really love it. I just think that it has the most beautiful coverage to it. It's kind of like a medium full-ish coverage, but it allows your skin to still look natural and like skin. I also just like these shades. For me, I have 420, which is a little bit lighter, and then 430. And I kind of mix them just depending on what I'm needing to match. But yeah, I absolutely love this foundation. I love that it's from the drugstore. It's not necessarily inexpensive. I think it's like, you know, you guys know drugstore prices these days. They're just crazy. But yeah, love this foundation. Highly recommend it. It's just all around so good. It's just become my go-to. I do have to give an honorable mention to the It Cosmetics CC Cream. This has been my go-to kind of in the summertime. I love that there's SPF in it. You can see how well loved it is here. And yeah, I just had to talk about it because I use this one constantly. It's something I always keep in rotation. Again, I love the coverage of it. This one's even more full coverage than this guy. But yeah, it's such a great product. I know a lot of you are familiar with it. If you're curious, I always keep on hand both the shade Fair and Fair Light, and kind of mix them. And I recently picked up the Illuminating one. I've never tried that one, so hopefully I'll like it just as much. But yeah, it is so good. For concealer, the first half of the year, my absolute favorite was the L'Oreal Infallible, like the matching concealer to this foundation. Really nice, full coverage. It is what I used on my wedding day as well. I think it pairs nicely together. And then when the Urban Decay Stay Naked Correcting Concealer launched, I kind of switched over to this guy. So I think this was in the summertime. Really like this as well. I actually think these have somewhat of a similar formula. They are on the drier side, so keep that in mind if you're not like a dry concealer type of person. But yeah, both of these are so good. Use them all the time. I have the shade 30 NY in Stay Naked and 330 Ivory in the Infallible. Moving along to setting powder. This I know I've talked about a lot. This is the Dermablend Illuminating Banana Powder. It is just phenomenal, you guys, to set the eye area, like not only underneath, but like eyelid, just kind of this entire zone, just to brighten it up. I just think this powder is so good. I love it. I use it constantly. You can see how much I've really worked through it. I find you don't need a ton. And yeah, I highly enjoy it. And I also just thought I should mention the original one. You can see I use that guy a ton as well. It's almost gone. But yeah, both phenomenal setting powders for the eye area. You can use them all over, but for me, I just think of the loose powder for my eyes, a go-to product. love this. For face powder, I like to set my face as well. My favorite is the Dermablend Intense Powder Camo. You can see it's very well loved here. It just really locks your foundation into place without looking heavy. I also like to use this on its own, but it's such a good powder. Don't hear anyone ever talking about it, but it's really great. And I was also going to mention for a face powder, I love the Maybelline Superstay. I just don't know where it is. Like, it's escaped me, but that's also one of my favorites. It's probably in like my travel makeup bag or something. Moving in to bronzer. Now, unfortunately, both of these bronzers are limited edition, but it truly has been the only bronzers that I've used basically all year. You guys know that I love the Urban Decay Beach bronzer. I love the Lancome Sunsweat bronzer, and I still have those guys. But these two have just taken a special place in my heart. I've still seen them floating around in stores, so if you see them, especially if they're on sale, grab them. I already have backups. I'm sad that these are limited edition because it's such a great formula. So the first one I'll talk about is, it says L'Oreal Back to Bronze Gentle Matte Bronzing Powder. And I don't know why, I think it's quite funny they call it gentle, because that's very accurate. I feel like it's not harsh, it just airbrushes out the skin. I think it's such a nice formula, and it is matte, but it's not super flat. I like the tone. This is 02 Sunkiss. I do think this is like the only shade though of this. Used this on my wedding day, so again, you guys, it just says it all, right? And then I also love this one. This is part of, I believe, the same collection, L'Oreal Bronze Please, and this says Sun Powder for Face and Body. This one has ever so slightly shimmery, that even, it's not even shimmery, it's just like a nice satin, brightening, luminous type of powder. So my favorite thing, if I'm going for the whole enchilada, is to use Bronze Please, the matte one, topped with this guy, just kind of all over, just to give the skin a nice little awakening and brightness. And yeah, these two powders are so good. Even just that shade on camera, like, that's my favorite type of bronzer, and this is so big. It's gonna last me a long time, thankfully. And yeah, favorite bronzers, so good. Within the same category, I've been talking about this blush, you guys, for years. This is the Life's a Peach blush. I bought this in Europe in 2018. I don't care that it's old because I love it and I always will. It's just the most beautiful peachy blush. It has some like radiance to it. I think it's called Skin Awakening, which is so accurate. I absolutely love it. And then I also found this here, the L'Oreal Melon Dollar Baby, which is the same concept, a little bit different packaging, but same line, I would say. And this one's just a little bit more pink, and I've been using this all year. These two guys, back and forth. I have so many blushes in my drawer that I should show some love to, but these two I can't get enough of. Oh, and I should have mentioned before those guys, I still love the Lancome Cushion Blush. I have a variety of shades of these. If I really want to do like a full makeup look and have my blush and everything look really great for, you know, an extended period of time, I like to use a cream blush before powder. This one here is the shade Sorbet Grenadine, and I just take a little bit on a stippling brush, and it just makes everything last a long time, look so nice, fresh, really nice in the summertime especially. You can just use this. It's so good. I highly recommend these. Again, there's some products that I feel like I know about, nobody else does. Am I alone here? Like, so good. When I was thinking about my favorite highlighter, I was like, I don't think I have one. Like, nothing was really coming to mind. And then I saw this sitting on my little desk here where I get ready. I have used this, you guys, every single day since I got it. I got this on our honeymoon when we were in California at Ulta, and I find it necessary to tell you I got it from Ulta. Us Canadians don't have Ulta, so if I get something from that store, I feel like proud, you know? We're apparently getting Ulta though. I always have people send me news articles saying like, Ulta's coming, Ulta's coming. Like, let's do that, right? But I digress. Back to this palette. So this is called the L'Oreal Chromatic Bronze Highlight and Contour Palette. I picked this up on a whim. I had never seen it before, and I'm so glad I did. So you have 3 highlighters in here and a bronzer. I don't really use the bronzer, you guys. It's a little bit warm, a little bit dark for me. I've used it, you know, as an eyeshadow, but it's not my go-to. This highlighter right here, the vanilla shade, is so perfect for an inner corner highlight and also just to, you know, use as a highlighter. It's so smooth, creamy, it's awesome. I've used this so much. There's a dent in it. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I've made some progress within this one. And then these two shades are awesome as eyeshadows. So nice and creamy, and I do kind of sometimes use them as like I'll mix them sometimes, the three of these, as a highlighter. So this palette, I have no idea if it's still available. I feel like a lot of this stuff, I don't know if it's still available, but I'm just being honest here, guys. I'm just showing you what I've used consistently. And if you have the opportunity to pick this guy up, I would highly recommend it. An honorable mention that I feel like I have to talk about is the Maybelline Face Studio Intense Metallic Highlighter. It's clearly seen better days, as you can see here. This is in the shade Sandstone Shimmer, and I absolutely love this highlighter. This is the one that lives in my travel makeup bag, and what I use when I'm traveling, which has been so often in 2019, so this really has been a favorite for me as well. I love the formula. Again, not only for highlighting, but inner corner highlighting. I find I always just like, for simplicity's sake, use the same highlighter on my cheek and my inner corner. And yeah, this one is so good. Such great quality. Like, you guys can see, like, I really do love drugstore products. Like, I feel like there's so many amazing drugstore options, and I'm so genuine when I say these are my favorites over all the other high-end stuff I have, and this one is so good. It's so good. Moving in to brows. Brows are not something, you guys, that excite me. I feel like I try lots of different brow products, but at the end of the day, I literally grab whatever is available and just make it happen. I love a lot of Benefit brow products, and I have some, but when I actually think about it, for the value that you get, I still think NYX has the best brow products. So the micro brow pencil and the precision brow pencil are so awesome. I find I go through a lot of brow pencils, like I must be pressing hard or something. And so when I'm constantly repurchasing, I want value. I want it to be inexpensive, because like I said, brows are not something I zero in on. But I get mine always in the shade brunette, I think. Oh no, chocolate, sorry, chocolate, for NYX, and they're just so good. I think NYX makes some of the best brow products, for real. For real. Moving along to eyeshadow. Okay, I have 4 palettes, which I feel like is a lot, but you'll see why. It all makes sense. I feel like they all have their place. The first one is something I talked about in my 2018 favorites as well, but it really is one of my absolute favorite palettes. This is the Urban Decay Born to Run palette. I just think this palette is so beautiful, so unique. I love the shades in here. I have nothing else like it. Nothing else sitting over here gets me, you know, gives me the same type of looks as this guy. I just think that you have the most beautiful metallics, a blue, the matte shades up here are so awesome, and I just always reach for this. It really is one of my absolute favorites. However, with that said, it's not like my daily go-to palette. This is kind of like, I get excited to use it. It's like my special occasion palette, you know? Speaking of my everyday go-to palette, it has to be this one. This is the Urban Decay Naked Reloaded palette. When I first got this, you guys, I don't think I used it for the first 3 months. It did not excite me. It was not something I was reaching for. It just felt plain Jane. I love this palette. Thinking about it now, it is the one that I reach for every day when I'm getting ready for work, trying to get out the door. It just has really great neutral shades in here. I love these matte shades. I like that the most used colors are, or like the typically most used colors are a little bit bigger of a pan. This corally shade is really, really great. You guys know I love peaches and that type of tone. And the metallic shades, like overall, it's just a really great palette. Again, I don't see this get a lot of love, but it's just so good. I feel like it would be, I don't feel like anyone could not like this. The only thing I will say, Dream Weaver is one of the worst eyeshadows I've ever used. I don't know why the formula of this one differs so drastically from everything else in here, because the other metallics are so smooth and creamy and feel just so good. But this one is so chunky and like chalky, and it's really disappointing. I feel like maybe that's also why I don't think of this as like my favorite palette, because this one damn shadow ruins it for the rest of them. But anyway, it's really not that serious. I really like this palette. I have to quickly mention the NYX Mystic Petals palette. The reason for that is it is so hard to find really great cool toned eyeshadow palettes. There are not that many out there. Like truly, if you have a recommendation, let me know. This is one I got in 2019 and I have just used it so often. It is cool toned, and if you actually like kind of cover up these two bright purple shades, and maybe even this pink one here too, you can just see that it's a beautiful like mauvey cool toned palette. How many times can I say palette? But yeah, like these shades here are just so nice. This isn't like the creamiest formula, but looks really great when it's on. It's easy to work with, and yeah, I should film a video with this. I feel like that would be a good one to do, but I really like this palette. And again, just for a cool toned option. This is something that's traveled with me a lot, and it's because it's quite compact and it's really, really good. Have you guys tried it? Again, I don't think anyone has. The last one I have to talk about. This is another item that lives in my travel makeup bag. I want to do a video on my travel makeup bag because I don't unpack it. It stays ready to go because I travel so often, especially like 2019, it felt like I was always gone. And when it comes to packing, keeping it ready to go really eases my stress. So this is the one that I always have in there. It's the Urban Decay Kristen Leanne palette. This is discontinued, or it was limited edition, you know, it was like a collaboration she did. I love the shades in here. It is just like all the matte shades I need. This will be the only palette I bring typically, plus like a single eyeshadow maybe, or just use this highlighter if I'm looking for something shimmery. But yeah, this palette is so good. It's just little, and I wanted to mention it because if you have it, maybe a friendly reminder to pull it out, give it some love. But yeah, it's just, I just love the shades. Perfect tones up in here. For eyeliner, my favorite liner is still the IT Cosmetics Superhero Liner. I just think it looks so good. It just works well. It's a nice, fine tip. It's just my favorite. I love it. And I don't know what else to say. It's just a really great black eyeliner. For mascara, I've tried a lot of mascaras this year. My favorite is probably still the Lancome Monsieur Big. It's just so good. Like whenever I venture off and try a new mascara, I find I come back to this guy time and time again. It just works well. You guys, I'm sure you're familiar with it. Really, really beautiful lashes. And then I wanted to give an honorable mention to the IT Cosmetics Lash Blowout. This is a newer mascara. My sister got it for me for my birthday, which was in November. So this is, you know, not a yearly favorite, but I've been loving it. It's awesome. So wanted to mention it, but overall, Monsieur Big is the one. Oh my gosh, we're almost done. Moving into lip products, I'm just gonna fire through these because I feel like these are things I've talked about for a long time. The NYX This Is Everything lip oil is something that lives in my purse constantly. It just is the most hydrating, enjoyable to use lip product because it is an oil, but it's not oily. It's so good. I absolutely love it. And I constantly rebuy these. It smells good without being too intense. I think it gives the lips a nice light gloss without being, you know, crazy. I don't know. It's just an everyday, really great product. You guys know that I love the Lancome Juicy Matte Shakers. I have even more shades than this, if you can believe it. I just think this product is so great. I love the formula, the shades. It's like kind of my go-to for any time I need a little bit of color. I should do a video where I like swatch them. Do people still do that? I feel like maybe it'd be interesting to see all the shades because this is such a such a good product. Another item that I have multiples of is these lip products from L'Oreal. I don't even know what these are called. It's the Color Riche Shine, and it is like the perfect combination. It's like the perfect tinted lip balm. This is my everyday go-to lip product. I have all the different kind of nudie shades. I love like the orangey corally ones here. My sister actually just got me this one for Christmas. This is in Nectarine Plump, and it's what I have on my lips right now, with a little more, with a lipstick as well that I'll talk about in 1 second. But these are so good. Like, really, really awesome product that launched at the drugstore within the last couple of years, I would say, and it is so good. Highly, highly recommend. And then lastly, I felt the need to mention these L'Absolu Rouge matte lipsticks from Lancome. I love the nude one in Ardent Sand. It's in my purse, but I specifically wanted to talk about these two shades. The first one is Zest Mandarin. It's the best. That just stopped me dead in my tracks because it is just the most beautiful, perfect, orangey corally lipstick. I wore this a ton this summer. This is what I have on my lips ever so slightly, you know, just like a little, you know, but yeah, this color is so good. It just makes, it just brightens up your whole face. And then my favorite red is this guy. It is in the shade Magique, and it's again more on the orangey side, that like orangey red, again for the summertime. I absolutely love. But these Lancome lipsticks are such a beautiful formula. They are matte, but they aren't drying. And so I love them. And I just think it's such a beautiful little packaging. I'm talking about so many lip products. Like, I'm never a lip product type of lady, but this is truly what I've used. Okay, this product, you guys, this is called the Slim Sheer Matte Lipstick. This is from YSL. It's very fancy. The reason I have to talk about this is because of the shade. This is truly my lip color. It's not even like my lips but better. It's just my lips. Like, I put this on if I have like concealer or like anything on my lips that I need to just like get a clean slate. It feels so comfortable on the lips. It's like the perfect lipstick. This is the only shade I own because these are expensive. But if you are looking for like a perfect go-to everyday lipstick, I would look into this. This is in the shade 102. And that's actually a question I get quite often, is people saying, what's like your favorite like everyday pinky nude? Like, this is the one. This is the one, and the packaging's nice too. So yeah, it's great. That's it for makeup, you guys. This is my 2019 in one pile. The one hair product, I'm gonna mention one hair product. It is this guy. You guys know I've talked about it a million times. The Kerastase Elixir Ultime oil. I don't know what they have in here, but it is like magic. It is weightless, but so nourishing, so hydrating. I have been on a mission to try and grow out my hair. It never grows. This is helping. I'm really being adamant of applying this to my ends. I go through this stuff like constantly, which is very unfortunate because it's expensive. Okay, it's an expensive item, but it's so good. I feel like there's nothing else like it. It's amazing. I had a lot of skincare items that I was going to talk about, but I think I'm going to do that in a separate video. A full-on skincare roundup, skincare routine, because skincare is something I feel like I don't talk to you guys about often, but it's actually what I do for my career. Like, what I do Monday to Friday is I am like an account manager, a sales rep type of position for a skincare line that's owned by L'Oreal. So anyway, more on that later. If you guys want to see that video, please let me know. And yeah, that's it, you guys. I really, really appreciate you watching. Thank you for clicking this video. You probably saw it in your subscription and you're like, who is that? But it's me. I'm back. I really am. I don't want to like put too much pressure on myself, but I'm gonna try and do a video a week. I can do that, right? Like, that's really not a lot of pressure. So keep an eye out for that, please. Any video suggestions, please let me know. Let me know your favorites. I would love to know what you guys loved in the year of 2019. And then lastly, I just wanted to quickly say, right now about the Australia wildfires. It is so heartbreaking if you are affected by it. I mean, we are all affected by it, but if you specifically are from there or have family or, you know, are directly connected to it, my heart is with you. And yeah. Ugh. Thank you guys so much for watching. Happy New Year again, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.